Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire the world had ever seen, yet he wrote that the greatest empire a man can command is not made of land, or gold, or armies. It is command over himself. Think about that. He could order thousands into battle with a single word, but he knew that the moment he lost control of his own mind, none of it mattered. And here is the uncomfortable truth. Most people lose that command the instant life goes wrong. One angry reply, one moment of panic, one word spoken in frustration, and years of respect, of peace, of progress can quietly fall apart. The calmest people you know are not calm by luck. They are not born without feelings. They simply live by a set of rules, quiet, unshakable rules, that keep them steady while everyone around them breaks. In the next few minutes, I am going to give you 7 Stoic rules to master your emotions and stay calm when everything falls apart. And rule number 5 is the one almost nobody has the courage to use. Before we begin, ask yourself one honest question. When was the last time an emotion made a decision for you, and you regretted it? Keep that moment in mind, because by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to make sure it never rules you again. Let us begin. The first rule is the pause. Between what happens to you and how you respond, there is a space. In that space is all your power. Most people never enter it. Something goes wrong, and they react instantly. The sharp reply, the clenched fists, the words they can never take back. Epictetus taught that it is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. The insult, the traffic, the criticism, none of these carry emotion on their own. The emotion is added by you in the half-second after. So the Stoic learns to widen that half-second. When you feel the heat rise, you pause. You take one slow breath, and in that breath, you ask a single question. Is this worth my peace? That pause is not weakness. It is the opposite. The person who reacts is a slave to whatever provoked them. The person who pauses is free. But pausing only buys you time. What you do with that time is the next rule. The second rule is the view from above. When you are trapped inside a problem, it fills your whole sky. A rude message feels like the end of the world. A setback feels permanent. Your emotions grow because your perspective has shrunk. Marcus Aurelius had a practice for this. Alone at night, he would imagine rising above himself, above his palace, above the city of Rome, until he could see the whole earth turning below, and all the tiny figures rushing about their tiny concerns. From up there, the thing that was crushing you a moment ago becomes small. Not meaningless, but small. In 100 years, he reminded himself, everyone alive today will be gone and forgotten, and so will the thing that ruins your afternoon. So when an emotion overwhelms you, zoom out. Ask how much this will matter in a week, in a year, in a lifetime. Most of what steals our calm cannot survive that question. But some problems are real, and for those, you need the third rule. The third rule is Amor Fati, to love your fate. There are 2 kinds of hardship in life, the kind you can change and the kind you cannot. Suffering begins when we pour our energy into fighting what has already happened. The Stoics went further than mere acceptance. They practiced Amor Fati, a love of fate, not just tolerating what happens, but embracing it as if you had chosen it. The traffic that made you late, the rejection that closed one door, the loss you did not see coming. Seneca said that fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling. You will walk the same road either way. The only choice you have is whether you walk it cursing or walk it calm. This does not mean you become passive. It means you stop wasting strength on the unchangeable and save it for what you can still shape. But to love your fate, you first have to see your emotions clearly, and that is rule 4. The fourth rule is name it to tame it. An emotion you cannot name controls you from the shadows. You feel restless, or heavy, or on edge, and because you never define it, it drives your whole day without you noticing. The Stoics were precise with their inner world. They would stop and describe exactly what they were feeling and why. Not, I feel terrible, but I feel anxious because I fear I will be judged. The moment you put an emotion into clear words, something changes. You are no longer inside the storm. You are standing beside it, looking at it. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to strip each impression down to the plain facts. A situation is just a situation, until your mind wraps it in fear or anger or shame. Name the feeling, name the story your mind added on top, and watch how much smaller it becomes once it is spoken plainly. Naming your emotion tames it, but there is one response so powerful and so rare that most people never dare to use it, and that is Rule 5. The fifth rule is answer with silence. This is the rule almost nobody has the discipline to follow. When you are insulted, provoked, misunderstood, every instinct screams at you to respond, to defend yourself, to win the argument, to have the last word. The Stoic knows a secret. Not every attack deserves an answer. Silence is not surrender. Silence is control. When you refuse to react, you take away the one thing the other person wanted, a reaction. You remain the calm center while they reveal themselves in the noise. Zeno, who founded Stoicism, said that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we may listen more and speak less. The strongest person in any room is rarely the loudest. It is the one who can sit in silence unbothered while others lose themselves trying to provoke a response that will never come. Try it once. The next time someone tries to pull you into their storm, say nothing. Let the silence do what 1,000 angry words never could. You will feel, maybe for the first time, what real power over yourself actually feels like. Silence protects your peace in the moment. But the 6th rule protects you before the storm even arrives. The 6th rule is the premeditation of adversity. Most of our strongest emotions come from surprise. We expect the day to go smoothly, so when it does not, we are thrown. The Stoics refused to be caught off guard. Every morning, Seneca and Marcus would quietly rehearse what could go wrong. The meeting might fail, someone might be rude, plans might collapse. They did not do this to feel gloomy. They did it so that when hardship came, they could meet it with a calm nod instead of shock. I already saw you coming. This is not pessimism, it is preparation. The soldier who is trained for battle does not panic when it begins. When you have already lived through the difficulty in your mind, it loses its power to shake you in reality. So each morning, take a quiet moment, picture what might test you today, and decide, in advance, that you will meet it with steadiness. But even the best preparation must rest on one final foundation, the 7th rule. The 7th rule is control the controllable. This is the heart of all Stoic wisdom. Epictetus said that some things are within our power, and some things are not. Within our power are our thoughts, our choices, our effort, our response. Outside our power are other people, the past, the outcome, the opinions of the world. Nearly all emotional suffering comes from confusing these two. We try to control what we cannot, other people's feelings, the result of our work, what has already happened, and we neglect the one thing we truly own, ourselves. The Stoic draws a clear line. What is mine to control, I will control completely. What is not, I will release completely. You cannot control whether you are respected, but you can control whether you are worthy of respect. You cannot control the storm, but you can control the ship. When you finally stop fighting the uncontrollable, an enormous weight lifts. The energy you wasted trying to command the world returns to you to command yourself. So there they are, 7 Stoic rules to master your emotions. The pause, the view from above, Amor, Fati, name it to tame it, answer with silence, the premeditation of adversity, and control the controllable. Now here is the honest part. You will not master all 7 at once. No one does. But if you look closely, one of these rules is the one you break the most. For some, it is the pause. They react before they think. For others, it is silence. They always need the last word. For others still, it is control. They exhaust themselves fighting what was never theirs to fight. So ask yourself now, which of these 7 rules do you break the most? Be honest. That single rule is your training ground. Master that one, and the calm you have been chasing will stop feeling like a struggle and start feeling like who you are. Marcus Aurelius never conquered his empire in a day, and neither will you conquer yours. But every time you choose the pause over the reaction, the silence over the noise, control over chaos, you take back a piece of the only kingdom that was ever truly yours, the kingdom within. If this gave you something worth keeping, stay a while, subscribe, and let this be the place you return to whenever the world tries to steal your calm. And when you are ready to go deeper, I will be here, with the next lesson, waiting. Until then, rule yourself, and you will rule your life.